Hey there, train fans. Welcome back. I have a little box behind me here from Nassau Hobby Center out of New York State. So this is the very first pre-ordered engine that I received since I got back into the hobby about 11 months ago. So very excited to take a look and check it out.
Guys, today we're gonna open this box. It's gonna be so cool. Like, stay tuned.
And by little box, I mean it's a humongous box. It has a pretty good weight to it as well. So big Strasburg Railroad fan, and this is the Lionel number 31 engine, which was just released this month, January 2023. And this comes from the Lionel 2022 Big Book Catalog. Nassau had a really good pre-order price on it, so very happy with that. Okay, a little bit of a better angle here. You see here, Lionel 060 Legacy. So go ahead and take it out. Alright, this is like really wedged in there. This has a lot of heft. This box out of the way here. Ooh. Nice. All right, here we see the label on the shipping box. The item number from Lionel, Strasburg Legacy 060, number 31. It was on the boat October 10th, 2022. So it took about 3 months to cross the big river and get to Lionel, and then get shipped out subsequently to Lionel's distributors and wholesalers. See a big nick in the corner there, that's tape, so hopefully everything's okay on the inside. I guess we'll find out. Alright, we're going to go ahead and open on the top. It does, after all, say, open this end. Now the Strasburg number 31 engine has quite an interesting history to it. Not just for the Strasburg Railroad, but for the history of railroading in the United States. This particular engine, number 31, was acquired by Strasburg in 1960, in June of 1960, and was put into passenger service September 1 of 1960, after it previously had been retired from Canadian National. It was built in 1908 by the Baldwin Locomotive Works in Philadelphia for the Grand Trunk Railroad in Canada, which subsequently was folded into the Canadian National Railroad until it was retired from yard switcher duties in about, what was it, 1959 or so? 58? Okay. We have the sticker here on the box. A nice big orange box. Yeah, it was retired in 1958. A Strasburg executive checked it out in 1959, and then they ultimately purchased it, and it went over to Strasburg in 1960. Here is the 2022 catalog from Lionel. And here on page 31, we have, as part of the 060s, this Strasburg number 31. Now, some people have complained about the tender being a little bit incorrect for the engine, and that is true, and I get it. But between having this with a not quite 100% accurate tender versus nothing, I'd rather have something. So let's go ahead and take it out of the box at last. Packaging definitely reminds me of the Strasburg number 972 engine that I have. Go. All right, so we have our little pipette here for smoke, little tools, extra goodies, extra traction tires. So let's go ahead, take a look. That is wedged in there very well. There we go. Okay. All right, there's the front. We have those Canadian National style number boards on the top here. And they did move that light down, which is correct. We got that Strasburg number 31 signage, which is correct. That looks pretty sweet. This model does have a swinging bell. And oh, here we got little roof slats that open and close. That's pretty nifty. We have our glowing firebox with LED lighting. We do have 2 crew members in the cab. All right, let's go ahead and grab that tender. Go. Decent sized tender for a switcher. Here's the bottom side. We have 2 pickups on the tender. And of course on the engine itself, if I bring it back here, we have 2 pickups as well. Since it's 060, if I can count my wheels here, we have a very small area for pickups. Hence, we have the extra pickups on the tender here and a hardwire connection so that we have sustained power for the locomotive and for the sound system in this tender here, which is okay. We got this nice floor plate here, so that should help cover up the wires there and hardly be noticeable at all. So we'll check that out. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead, get this stuff out of the way, and we'll take an even closer look. Here we have the steam engine connected with the tender on the tracks, and I think together it makes a great presentation. Not only is it highly detailed, but this white striping here on the side of the engine and the wheels as well just makes a really interesting, great contrast. And the logo of the Strasburg Railroad looks great. And yeah, for a small size, it looks really cool. Has a lot of weight to it, so I'm really interested to see what kind of pulling power it's going to have. Like I said, this plate covers those wires, and it's not that noticeable. So I don't really mind it at all. So we do have this opening hatch here on the tender. And then we have this section pop off for our access to the switches. smoke, bell, run a program. So that's really convenient having it all right on top instead of random places on the side or on the bottom. I just realized that the factory did not seem to include an instruction manual for this engine, which I'm sure was an oversight. I would venture most of these tend to come with an instruction manual. So I'll just have to wing it when I fill up the smoke. But just a couple updates here. According to Lionel, this has a minimum of 31 curves, is 17 and 1 inches in length, has electrical couplers, and again we have that wired tender for additional electrical performance, so you can clear through any of those little dead zones you may have on your tracks. This is when you have switches and so forth. Here we have a view of the back of the tender, just for reference. We got that reverse light, Strasburg number 31 emblem, electrical coupler. So a very nice looking set. And for a legacy engine from Lionel, I think it's very well priced. But let's go ahead and give it some power, see if it works. Paired up with Strasburg number 31, I thought it would be only appropriate you have Strasburg number 98, which of course is the Wilmington and Western number 98. While Strasburg received number 31 in 1960 and entered it into passenger service, the next year in 1961, that is when number 98 showed up at Strasburg to be refurbished by Strasburg for Wilmington and Western for a couple of years. And Strasburg went ahead and gave it its Strasburg color scheme, as they really liked it and wanted to add it to their roster. But ultimately, of course, it went on to Wilmington and Western, so it was not to be. But they did get to enjoy it for a few short years. Now, number 31 was put out of passenger service in 2009 for its federally mandated inspections and rebuilds. But that has dragged on for well over a decade, and no work was being done on it for quite a long time. That is until 2021 into 2022. As of December 2022, number 90 is now out of service at Strasburg for its federally mandated inspection period. So hopefully they'll get cracking and finish the refurbishment of number 31 so they can return it to passenger service and accompany the other engines such as number 89 and 475 and the Thomas the Tank engine. As I was waiting for number 31 to arrive, I went ahead and acquired a couple vintage postcards of this engine from the Strasburg Railroad that were sold at the gift shop back in the day. Here we have those green passenger cars, which kind of gives you an idea of the period. Reverse here. And we also got another one here, also when we had those old green passenger cars. That shows number 31 engine in action back in the day. But hopefully it'll be back in action not too soon. All right, let's go ahead and give this some power. Close our little window hatches here. Now, as this engine is a legacy edition, we do have it on the Bluetooth here, so we can connect that. All right, now we got our controls. Alright, so I put it on the closer setting. We'll see how it does on a curve here. But I just don't know if the little wires were snug enough when it's on the setting where the tender and engine have a little bit more of a gap between them. So it really doesn't seem to latch on very well, those wires coming out of the tender where it inserts into the locomotive. So let us try it again here, see if that makes a difference. Well, it is actually smoking now for the first time, so that's an improvement. The little bell's not swinging though. Oh. So Lionel says minimum 031 curves. This fast track is 036, so it should be quite sufficient for it. Although on the little bit tighter setting, this cab comes into contact with the little cold box on the tender, and then it wants to stop. And then if I have it on the farther away setting, it seems the cords just don't have enough play and they don't secure into place and they kind of pop out and the engine gets power but doesn't want to move. Well, I'm going to try it again. Yeah, now we got to the farther setting. Stop smoking. Swinging bell still doesn't swing. And engine won't move. So here on the 036 curve, you can see these wires. Now it's on the setting that's farther away from the tender. The two little slots there. But oops, you just seem to pry straight out of the port. They don't snap into place. There's not enough length on the cables. So not enough length of cables. Doesn't secure properly on the locomotive. Unhappy train. But on a positive note, the window's open. Okay, here we are looking at the underside of the locomotive and tender. And I've moved this little connecting rod here out of the way. You can just see the cables. And any kind of turn or slight tug, you see these cables here will just just come right out. Like they're not, snap into place, lock into place, not secured. Now I pulled the hell out of these cables so I could get a little bit more length out of the tender. So I'm gonna just try it again, see if we have any more luck. And I did notice that on the tender here, that this little add-on piece, it's a little crooked. And that with this back truck here, that it physically comes into contact with that part. As the truck rotates, it literally hits that little part there. So that's going to be rubbing and hitting as this train maneuvers down the tracks, if I get it moving. So, okay, so yeah, pulled out the wires a little bit more out of the tender. Let's see if that makes any difference whatsoever. I hope so. A swinging bell? Maybe I got it working this time. There's one more thing here to go. It's puffing. Alright, we're going to try this again, but just forward motion. And I have dared to connect our Strasburg passenger cars, so let's see what happens. Hopefully no derailments. All aboard. Okay, there we have it. The brand new Lionel Strasburg Railroad number 31060 switcher. So I had a little learning curve here, some hiccups on the tracks, but hopefully you found this video enlightening and assist you with your decision if you're pondering acquiring one of these or not. They are available now, so if this is on your want list, definitely add it to your collection. Hopefully you'll have a few less issues than I have, but at least it's operating and moving forward, doing all of its features. I'm just not going to try backing it up anytime soon, and think it would definitely be happier on some wider curves. But it seemed to pull the load of 6 passenger cars and caboose quite fine, not even going up to 100% power or anything. It was running about 50 to 60%. So overall, a very good looking, sharp engine. I do wish that that cable was a little bit improved design wise, so that would secure a little better, and maybe a little bit more on the quality control department, but at least it's functional, and I don't plan on sending it back. Alrighty, well, go ahead, check out our other videos, like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you, take care.
Hello guys, today we're going to open this box that I'm pointing. Stay tuned. There's a train inside. It's going to be so cool. And comment your favorite part. That's the most one. It's comments. Don't, if you comment, mostly of the people get, like, replied from the other train, the other side of the tracks. Yes, you can replied. I don't know how to say it again. Well, if you're so lucky, you might get pinned. If you're so lucky, we might even like your comment. If you're super lucky to us, you might do that. Since we're nice and sweet. And that's all in this box. Let's go.